Some eye tests come harder than others. This is one of those eye tests. You got half man, half amazing. And you got T-Mac, Tracy Mcgrady versus Vince Carter. Who was the better player? Who had the better career? And it gets tough for many reasons we gonna name in this eye test. It's your boy Dame. Subscribe to Dame's World if you haven't. If you have, you know what it do. Shout out to Taylor McCoy again for the request of this video. My boy been giving out classics. If you have a video to request, get at me, I'll get at it. Hopefully in a timely fashion. If not, better late than never, nigga. But we got T-Mac versus Vince Carter's cousins, like Craig and Day Day, and we're going to get into the eye test debate. First category, scoring. Both of them score. Vince Carter learned to score quicker than T-Mac. T-Mac coming out of high school and Vince coming out of North Carolina. But at their height, at their max potential level, T-Mac was the better scorer. T-Mac was Kobe-like once he got it going, around like his third, fourth year, 99, 2000. Scoring in multifaceted ways. Vince Carter is more of a finisher at the rack and a shooter. Has a little bit of moves, but not as much as T-Mac. So scoring at their apex, T-Mac. Though longevity, Vince Carter been doing it for a while. The nigga still giving buckets every now and then. Scoring, T-Mac at their height. Shooting, T-Mac. T-Mac to me, when it comes to the offensive end, is an anomaly. One of the best we've seen. You talk Kobe, you talk Durant, you talk Jordan. I got T-Mac up there as far as caliber of shooters. His hindrance, he didn't do it for a long time. But because he was multifaceted, multi-skilled, and a great shooter, T-Mac on the offensive end was a nightmare. So I do have T-Mac shooting, though Vince Carter was the better spot-up shooter. T-Mac shoots off the dribble. Vince, spot-up shooter. But I have T-Mac overall as the better shooter by a slight. Passing, I got T-Mac again. Vince Carter wasn't really a great passer. Both of these players are score-first players, but T-Mac later on in his career with Yao and when he was with the Pistons playing a little facilitator role, I saw him be an active passer. So T-Mac with the passing. Defense is tough. Both these players prided in nice Vince. Both these players prided in defense, but they weren't like elitist defenders, and off ball they weren't as efficient. It's like when you got a grade on you, you're gonna play D. And both of them did that. So defense, I have pretty much even handles. T-Mac, Vince Carter wasn't the greatest ball handler when it comes to the double cross or step backs. He just got to his spots and got to where he needed to be. Filled the motherfucker up, as you can see. Vince Carter was a hell of a shooter. And the shooter might be close because Vince, that's all he really did. He was a streak shooter. When he got hot, he put up 50 on your ass. T-Mac streak shooter as well, but I felt he was just a little more consistent with the shot. Clutch. Oof. Vince was more clutch to me. T-Mac didn't perform in those big moments like I would want and I have seen, whereas Vince put himself in a position to make clutch plays, not only in Toronto, but in Brooklyn and with Dallas Mavericks late in his career. He's been one of the people who's hit big shots throughout his career. So Vince Carter is more clutch. Finishing at the rim, VC, come on, man. Half man, half amazing. Probably the greatest finisher of our generation. And it's not just the dunks over your head, but it's the layups. He got big hands, and look at that. He can palm shit with one hand, essentially, and go up. Oh, that got beat up, though. Palm shit and go up to the point where it's an easy layup for him. So finishing at the rim, easy. Oh, we got a lot of time on this video. Finishing at the rim, easy, Vince. Driving at the rim, Vince. He made more of an effort to do it. Nice. They out here giving buckets, y'all. Vince is out here giving buckets. T-Mac giving buckets. But driving at the rim, Vince. Post T-Mac. I didn't see Vince utilize the post as much. I saw T-Mac always in the post like Kobe. And he was one of the better post players in our history. Guards for sure. You give me Jordan, give me Kobe, then you give me T-Mac. So post easy. Overall skill, I got T-Mac. When you talk about the handles, you talk about the array of moves, you talk about the post, you talk about just how he gets his buckets, the one dribble pull up as you see there, going to the, he has more ways to get it than Vince. Vince got ways, don't get it twisted, and that between the legs right there was his signature. That was his signature. Between the legs pull up. But overall skill, I would have to go with T-Mac. Transition, give me Vince, because you don't want to see him on that break. Look at that. When he gets to dunking and he get to putting on a show, he can change a game. You seen him jump over 7-foot niggas. So transition, Vince. Athleticism, Vince. T-Mac is a hell of an athlete, but you saw in a dunk contest together, Vince was the best dunker you've ever seen in your life, damn near. Rebounding. That's tough. That's a wash to me. I'm not really adept at watching them rebound and seeing who's a better rebounder. I know they both can get 5, 6 a game. Both got bounce. So that one was hard for me. I say even. Isolation. Both of them isolate well. Vince get his money isolating. But T-Mac, like I told you, was one of the best isolation players I've ever seen. So T-Mac with the ISO. Off-ball Vince. Vince learned to play off the ball. Vince learned to be a role player later. Whereas T-Mac never learned that. So off-ball, I got Vince. On-ball. On-ball defense. Oh no, I already did on-ball defense. Overall, excuse me. Overall player, it's tough because at their apex, T-Mac on the Magic was to me a better player than Vince in his apex, which is 2000, maybe 2001. And the thing is, Vince's prime is longer than T-Mac's. So at their prime, I would say T-Mac, but overall career-wise, Vince Carter had more of a legendary career. You talk about clutch moments, pushing the Nets towards success, Toronto almost making the finals. You talk about big shots. You talk about being a dunk contest legend. You talk about still playing today at 45. Vince Carter's legend will surpass T-Mac's, but I think overall as a basketball player at their height, T-Mac was just a little bit better, and it was just because of the skill. And Vince came out better earlier. Like you said, you got the college prep, so you're more NBA ready. But when T-Mac was T-Mac, he was debatably the best player in the league. That's just my opinion. So overall, with this eye test, I got T-Mac as the better player in their prime. However, I do have Vince Carter with the better career. And Vince Carter is an underrated scorer because he dunks so well, so people sleep on that. An underrated shooter, an underrated bucket getter. Shout out to Vince Carter, the legend. 44, 45, still playing, still scoring today. At a low rate, but still doing it. We gotta pay homage to the greats. This is last year. So, for Taylor McCoy, we got this video. I got T-Mac in his prime. I got Vince, overall career. Great battle. They cousins like Craig and Day Day as you see them laughing. So it's all fun here. Who you got, Vince or T-Mac? Let your boy know. Either one is a good pick if you ask me. It's your boy Dane.